The auroral diamond glows with a pale blue light. It's reminiscent of the clear sky after dawn. It's the color of a day filled with hope and promise. And with that, welcome to Radiant Stories, where we're going to be doing a 12-episode campaign set on the Radiant Citadel, which just came out. Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel. Great book. We are going to be having some fun both on the Radiant Citadel and in a couple of those adventures. And we're going to be doing that with some amazing players that I've got here with me. Would you go ahead and introduce yourselves, please?
Of course we will. Hey, everybody, I'm Alicia Marie. You can find me on all socials at Alicia Marie Body. I am somehow magically streaming smoothly from my hotel room in San Diego Comic-Con. Knock on wood, so far so good. I'm working on some really cool things in the creative space, always costumes, but for RPG. On Tuesday nights, you can find me on Children of Erte on the Demiplane RPG channel. And beginning in August, I'm part of Voyagers of the Jump, which is Travelers RPG on the Glass Cannon Network, all on Twitch.
Hi, I'm Bashir Gauss. I am one of the writers on the Radiant Citadel. I wrote a location, the Tayyib Empire, in it, and as well as a guest here, I am also a professional writer and cultural consultant in the tabletop RPG space. I've done work with Critical Role, Paizo, Rowan Rook and Deckard, a lot of companies in the space. I cannot talk about the other cool projects I'm on at the moment, for the most part. I do some streaming occasionally, every other Monday, including next Monday. I'm on Rise of the Ancients, another D&D actual play, and I am working on Ahadi, which should have its first public playtests at Gen Con in a couple weeks.
That's me, and I didn't unmute myself. Way to start the show. Hi, I'm Kelly. I'm famous for muting myself. I am the opera geek, mostly. That just means I'm a professional opera singer who also happens to be a really ridiculous geek. I do content creation and play quite a bit in the TTRPG space. I helped co-write the College of the Opera subclass for bards, which is super fun if you've never thought about stealing people's souls via singing. And other than that, I can't say any of the NDAs. So you can watch me Sundays and Tuesdays on my channel at the Opera Geek, where I'm currently playing Stray with my dedicated meow button.
Oh man, I wish I had a dedicated meow button. Hi, everybody. My name is KP, also known as KP Livon Studios on all your social medias. I do many things. I'm primarily a photographer. I do cosplay and portrait photography. I got a chance to play wonderful games on streams with people like the ones you see before you today. One of the ones outside of now this Friday stream that we're on. Every other Wednesday, I'm on Nat One Fun's channel playing a game of D&D called Running Feywild. Sorry, not why did I think into Running Feywild, which is if you like isekai genre games where people get transported into random worlds of fantasy, this may be a show for you, where we play characters that got sucked into their own D&D game, and now we're playing characters of our characters, and it's as chaotic and fun as that sounds, and it's I love it. We have a blast. I'm also on multiple shows that are currently on hiatus until September, but I can still talk about them and get you excited. So hopefully you come and join us. Every Friday, I'm on a game called Shadow. Can't speak today. City of Light and Shadows, which is a Fate Light campaign where practically we get to punch Nazis. We are a bunch of undercover agents in a alternate reality of 1940s Nazi-occupied France, and we get to kick Nazi ass every Friday. So come join us once we start back up on September. Every Tuesday, again in September, I'm going to be continuing to play in a game of Tales from the Loop campaign, where we're a bunch of teenagers, a la Stranger Things, where random crap is happening in our little Midwestern town, not Midwestern, Eastern town. And it's a lot of chaos there. And then Thursdays, starting September, we're going to be debuting our One Ring campaign, which is a Lord of the Rings based campaign. So you can come check us out there. And that is me in a nutshell. I do a bunch of sensitive training, sensitive reading, and cultural consultation, and a bunch of other things. Please check me out. Bye.
Hi, I am Jen Crutchman. You can find me on Twitter as @DreamWisp. You can find me streaming on Twitch as DreamWispJen. I am an author. I am a producer. I'm an actor. I worked on Candlekeep Mysteries for D&D. I have worked on Starfinder, on Haunted West. I worked on Anansi's Tapestry of Lives. I created an NPC. I am the creator of the Accessibility and Gaming Resource Guide. I do disability consulting for The Walking Dead, among other things. And I am, on Tuesdays, I'm part of Children of Erte. And on Wednesdays, I play vampires, a very, very different character to this, over on Renegade Games. So other cool stuff. Follow on the socials to find out the other cool stuff that I can't talk about yet. Oh, and on the 28th, I am giving a keynote address at the Generation Analog Conference. So please join us as we talk about embodiment and accessibility in games.
And I'm Lauren Urban. I'm the content coordinator over at Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. You can find me on Twitter as OboLauren. You can find these people here with me tonight. We've also got a couple of other people who are going to be coming in and out during these 12 episodes. And I want to also take a moment to thank NeverEnding, because without them, we wouldn't have this show to bring to you. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about their upcoming Kickstarter, Anansi's Tapestry of Lives. They've worked with a huge, diverse cast of amazing writers, including BIPOC, LGBTQ+, and disabled writers, and including many of the people you're going to see on this show over the next couple of episodes. They're creating a book of over 100 unique and useful NPCs, in addition to full-color illustrations, story-driven details, crunchy stat blocks, and inventories and roll tables. Each NPC comes with a professionally voice-acted monologue that you can play on your phone or your tablet or your favorite virtual tabletop like Roll20. If you want a way for your players to get a sense of the character beyond just a description, it's got beautiful full-color illustrations and the voiced monologues to help bring these characters to life for you and your players. It's coming to Kickstarter soon, and you can learn more at AnansiLives.com. And with that, I believe it's time to go to the Radiant Citadel. And very specifically, we're going to go to one place on the Radiant Citadel. This giant diamond floating in the ethereal plane, surrounded by all of the mist of the ethereal plane and this writhing storm next to it is a shining beacon in this plane. But what's important right now is Thulson's Tea. It's a little tea shop on the Radiant Citadel. It's pretty nice. In the light of the auroral diamond, which is this pale blue right now, it is bathed in this wonderful glow. And as our first character walks on in, what they see is just a cozy little tea shop. On the left is the counter, and to the right they can see all of the multitude of tables at different heights with different chairs. There's a little door that goes off into some lavatories and the ramp that leads up to the roof that Malik has reserved for this meeting that he is about to have. And so Malik, when you walk on in, the first thing you see is Thulson. They are happy to see you as always. They give a little bow and they say, "Oh, hello, it's so good to see you. I've got everything set up upstairs. I tried to do it as quickly as possible like you asked. So if there's anything that you're missing, just let me know." And Malik, would you describe yourself, please?
Yeah, so Malik Livon is a tall kind of investigator for the local kind of equivalent of the guard. He wears a relatively formal green sherwani, pretty much everywhere with this geometric, like arabesque patterning down the length. He often, but not always, wears one of several red shawls over one or both shoulders and carries a baton covered in runes and calligraphy at his waist, as well as one of a few small turbans with several decorations on them. Generally like on the image here, some sort of like small thing tucked into the front, or a ribbon, or occasionally, more often than he'd like considering his job, a magnifying glass of some sort for investigating things. He strides in and, great to see you, my friend. So glad you managed to put it together on short notice. Really sorry for the inconvenience. Just, it's an entire thing. I don't have everyone else's tea orders yet, but if you don't mind terribly, if you could put on a chai, just the normal 5 sugars, how I normally take it. And I'll just wait for everyone up. And hopefully they know they're supposed to meet you on the roof, but decent odds someone forgets. Just if it happens, please remind. Yeah, I'll just wait upstairs for them, and thank you so much again, especially considering the short notice.
It is my pleasure, neighbor. It is always good to see you. And I have a feeling if anyone comes by that needs to go to that meeting, they'll make it pretty clear pretty quick. So I'll guide people on up there as they come.
I'd certainly hope so.
All right, and you head up the ramp to the upstairs, which we'll see in just a moment. But first, we're going to stay downstairs where the main tea shop is, as Thulson, this giant furball with fur that is the same color right now as the auroral diamond, which is probably one of the reasons she seems to glow a little bit more, is looking through all of the glass containers behind her counter, pulling out the chai that she needs, as Cricket, you enter the shop. Would you go ahead and describe yourself, please?
Okay, actually, depending on how your perception is, it's almost like out of the corner of your eyes, if you looked, you would think that you saw like a wolf standing to like your right with yellow eyes. But when you look, it's a woman. She's about 5'7", 5'8", normal, like medium to slight build. She has light hair, brown skin, bright yellow eyes that definitely seem a little sort of inhuman. She moves sort of slowly, but she's dressed. What's really interesting about her is the way she's dressed. It's almost like a British dandy sort of, which is odd. You're sort of like, why? She has like, we're talking like riding chaps, pants on, a caplet sort of cape, a leather belt, and she's dragging behind her a gold shovel. And she walks up to like dragging, so you actually hear it like, and she's dragging it down the floor unnecessarily. She seems immune to the noise, or like maybe she's trying to make noise, who knows? But she walks up to the woman behind the counter and says, I'm supposed to meet Malik here. Where do I go?
Neighbor, it's good to see you. Yes, he is upstairs. If you just go up the ramp right over there, you will find the veranda that he is currently seated at. I believe a couple of companions are going to be arriving as well. Did you have a tea order you wanted to put in before you went upstairs?
I don't have a tea order, but can you have those little like cookies you had last time? They had like the sprinkle on top and stuff like that. Something you had last time. I don't know if it was coconut, but jasmine something. It's very crunchy. I love how it tastes. Can we have more of those?
Are you talking about the gansitos, the little coconut with the chocolate covered cookies? I do have some more of those. I'll bring those up in just a moment.
That sounds delicious. At first I thought you said Fritos, and I was like, I'm not eating Fritos tonight, but the cookies with coconut sound good. Okay, so up the stairs you say, Malik is there. He's on time, he's not late again.
Oh no, definitely on time. Just up that ramp right there, and I'll bring you up some water as well.
Okay, and she turns and runs up the stairs, and it's a little animalistic the way she runs.
And are you dragging that shovel with you the whole time?
You know what? Actually, she is. And it's like,
It's interesting. The other people in the shop, they react to the noise. They look over at the shovel, but they don't seem to pay you any extra attention. It's just a little odd to see someone coming in with a shovel, but everyone's got a thing that makes them happy. And you head on upstairs, and just maybe 30 seconds later, Phoebe, why don't you come walking on in and tell me what you look like?
So you see the shop door open, and in enters a tiny little kobold, a kobold that actually might be a little smaller than your average size. He's looking not quite nervous, but just a little unsure of what's exactly happening. But he's red in color with flecks of gold that's running across his body, on his face and his tail, or whatever you could see of his body. And he's wearing this very cool, himself, another form of sherwani. It's a different style that kind of comes across, buttons up on the left side, and then cuts across and makes a quite ornate looking collar with the really cool golden designs. The edges have a nice golden filigree as well. And as you look at the texture of the sherwani, similarly, there's some cool little patterns that kind of goes across it. And on his face, he has a bunch of, he has a nose ring as well as some rings across his ears. He has tiny little 6-inch horns, not quite big, but just there. And I forget what they're called, frills? I forget what it exactly, but basically,
I mean, they're called whatever you want to call them. They're your frills. Yeah.
He's got little frills that come up off the side, kind of on his neck and underneath his ear, that kind of quiver and shake, and kind of almost like elephant ears kind of sometimes fan, or like if anything were to land on it, kind of just wiggle a little here and there. And then he's wearing a utility belt full of, just like a merchant would have, different things, tools of his trade, or like a pouch for money, et cetera, et cetera. And he kind of just walks in and goes, oh, I forgot. He also has a red goatee as well, that he comes once in a while whenever he's thinking. You would see him like brush up. And he goes, hello. I was told to come meet here.
Oh, excellent. And you see that Thulson, the owner of this building, she's moved on over to near the back of this establishment, where she's been pinning some stuff onto this cork board. It looks like kind of a community bulletin board. And she turns around and waves to you and says, neighbor, it's good to see you. Yes, if you're here to speak with Malik, you want to go right up that ramp right there. But did you have a tea order you would like before you go up?
Oh, I don't know I forget what your menu's like. Maybe just some chai. I think a chai would be lovely. Can I please have some of that?
Absolutely. I'll bring some up just in a moment when everybody is here.
Thank you. And then you see him run to the staircase, and almost, instead of like normally walking up, because it's a little high for him, you see him like,
it is actually a ramp, it's not a staircase.
Oh, it's a ramp, sorry. Yes, my apologies. So yeah, then you see him run up the stairs. Once in a while you see him like almost like when you were younger as a kid, when you would go up a ramp or a staircase, you kind of just like all fours, sometimes just thinking that would go get you up faster. He kind of does that partway through and then runs past out of sight. Yeah.
And as you take the ramp on up to the roof, and Thulson puts a few more pins and a few more pieces of parchment on this corkboard and moves back, kind of, you see them muttering to themselves the orders that have been coming in. As Justina, would you introduce yourself as you come walking on in?
Or Justina would actually make an appearance, whoever is closest to the door would probably get a faint smell of like wood burning, like in the fall. You get that, just that slight sense of smoke right before she walks in. So what walks in is a semi-slouched, as if trying to appear not quite as large as she is. Well, she looks like a half-elf. She's probably a half-elf, right? Who knows? She has very long hair that's been braided back, and it goes in a gradient from blue all the way down through red, orange, and the tips go to white. She looks moderately annoyed. This seems to be a very comfortable look for her, honestly. She has 2 axes, one on each side, and a sword that is almost as big as she is, strapped across her back. She kind of shuffles in, looks this way and that, and then locks eyes with the order taker.
Tholson would immediately
yes.
lock eyes with you and give a warm smile, and they say, neighbor, what can I help you with?
They might be slightly disconcerted because her eyes are red with little gold spots in them. And she blinks at him. Is there anything alcoholic?
We can add some stuff. Did you have a specific order?
Nope. I find that I'm having a really good time discovering all the different things you all have here.
Oh, excellent. Are
Just
you...
give me your favorite kind of alcohol.
You watch as Tholson breathes in your the odor that is coming off of you, the warm scent of firewood, and says, I know we just met, but do you trust me? And are you interested in some chocolate?
Question 1. I don't trust anybody. Question 2. Always.
Excellent. I will go and make you something right now. I assume you are here for the meeting with Malik?
Is that his name?
That is his name, if that's the person you're meeting.
I was told to go to the roof.
You were told correctly. The ramp is right there. I will be up with your drink in just a moment.
All right. She kind of rolls her shoulders back, maybe as if to present herself slightly better if she's going to go looking for work, and straightens up to her full height, which is a bit over 6 feet, and starts very lazily strolling up the ramp with no sense of time nor urgency.
As you amble very calmly up the ramp, probably because of your stately pace, Wisteria walks in and catches just the very back of you as, Wisteria, would you please describe yourself?
So kind of stopping at the door and at the doormat and kicking off a bunch of dust and dirt and mud off of their shoes. They're wearing nicely tooled leather boots, gardening boots, and overalls. Wisteria has a soft sage green skin and wavy, kind of a little bit messy, some twigs and things in it. Purple hair. They have a pair of gardening shears at their belt and a number of pockets on their apron. In their bag, you can see just a couple of little packs of seeds peeking out. And their eyes are iridescent, almost like a butterfly's wing as they look around.
And Wisteria, you see that Tholson has moved back to the corkboard on the back and is straightening up some of the parchment that have fallen off or need a couple of extra pins. And they turn around and see you and go, oh, hello, you're also here for Malik.
The sage green of my face goes beet red.
And Tholson, if they notice, they don't say anything, but they do give you a gentle wave. Your usual
Upstairs.
Then? Yes, right up the ramp. You know where to go. I believe you're the final person coming, so you've arrived just in time.
And Wisteria just bolts up the ramp.
Excellent. The five of you have arrived on the roof of this building, which has big green sails and tarps that cover most of it. There's no sun that you have to worry about, but the light from the actual auroral diamond is sometimes a little bright, and these green tarps and sails and flags kind of give this a space that has a sense of privacy while still being able to look out on the grand vista of the Citadel. There's a very comfortable table. It looks like wood, but a lot of you, every time you inspect it, you're not exactly sure what it's made of. That is fairly low to the ground, and there are 6 chairs. It looks like all of the chairs have been set out next to the table, except for one, which is off to the side. All of them are padded with thick green that matches the flags and the tarps. And all of them have the lever on the side so that when you sit down in them, you can adjust the height to whatever you need. And it's just a comfortable atmosphere as you all arrive. And Malik, your crew has arrived.
Well, hello. It is good to see everyone made it. I was a little worried would have a no-show or two. Tea and drinks should be up shortly. Thank you again for all making it up here. I do really appreciate it. We have a bit of a situation, and I have been told to bring in help for it. And I know all of you have at least some of the skills we're looking for it. First, I suppose, introductions. You all know me. We've met in at least some minor capacity. But I am this is an official thing with the investigation, and like this is a government job, as it were, if you choose to accept. I'll explain after we do introductions, but if that is an issue, there's no judgment if you want to walk away from it. It may be a matter of public safety. We don't know much about the situation. But first, I suppose we should do first, I suppose we should do introductions. BB, if you'd mind just telling the others about yourself, and we can just kind of go in a circle.
Oh, sure. Hi, my name is BB. I was a shopkeep until I burned it down accidentally because I didn't know I was a sorcerer, and I randomly shot a firebolt. And here I am. So I guess I can shoot fire out of my hands, and maybe that's why I'm here. I don't know why you want a shopkeep outside of that, but there you go.
We'll get into it, but Wisteria, I'm really sorry about the inconvenience, but
Inconvenience? There's no inconvenience. I'm happy to be here.
All right.
It's lovely to meet all of you. I'm Wisteria, and I mean, most of you come to my book club, so I know quite a few of you. But I tend to do quite a bit in terms of gardening, a bit of magic, a bit of a flower arrangement is the art I prefer, and I'm very happy to be here. So lovely to meet you all.
All right, Cricket, just quick one.
Well, first let me unmute myself. I know Wisteria because I'm in her book club, and you recommended book to me before. It was very good. I'm not sure I'd recommend it for children, but it worked for me. And Cricket's gonna put on right on the table in front of her this orange and yellow boomerang. She just sits it right in front of her, and she leans back and she says, I also know Estina. We've done work together before, right? I also have a new thing to show you, Malik. And she gestures to her shovel. You remember that I always have spirit with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen, people know that my domain is the grave. They expect me to be like in the cemetery, in the backyard, digging a body.
Mm-hmm.
So I give them what they want, okay? However, this is no ordinary shovel. And when
Jerry's already looking at the shovel. Oh, this is lovely. You could move large quantities of dirt very quickly with
Was
this.
that what was
Quite
scraping on
excellent.
the ground on your way up?
it's not an ordinary shovel. But when she says it, it starts to glow a little bit. And all of you, if you are feeling sick or stressed or tired or annoyed, all of a sudden you feel like you've just been given a warm hug or a bowl of soup. Ustina, you specifically feel like you just had a warm bowl of stew because I know what you like. And as quickly as you feel it, it's gone. And she's like, I can do more than dig a dead body with a shovel.
Well, greatly appreciated. And Ustina, if you have anything you'd like to say, completely understandable if you don't.
First, I'm not part of a book club. No one told me there was a book club. I would have come to the book club. I don't know why I'm not invited to the book club.
Oh,
I'm a lovely person.
We meet weekly. We have tea and little sandwiches, and we talk about different books. We meet. It's once a week. You should come join us. It's a lovely thing. My friend Edity runs it when I'm away, but also is part of it when I'm here. It's a fantastic time. Lots of people come, and you're looking at me strange.
Oh, I stopped listening after the first sentence or so.
It's about this
Okay.
time. It's about this time that Thelson walks up the ramp holding a very large tray with all of your orders, placing down the tea and the chai. And Ustina, you notice that what she puts down in front of you smells of chocolate. And when you give it a try, it does have this hint of something extra in it, but it is this lovely, it's almost too thick, but it's perfectly made hot chocolate with just something a little extra. And then she also puts down a very large tray on the table that has some of the cookies that you were asking about. It's got a few cold sandwiches, some cucumber chutney cheese sandwiches, a little bit of fruit. And they say, I know this is a business meeting and you might not be able to stay long, so don't feel bad if you can't have it all. I'll make sure it gets taken care of. And they head away very quickly.
Greatly appreciated as always.
Christina
Thank
already
you.
has 2 sandwiches, 3 cookies, and is slowly dipping the cookies into the chocolate.
And Cricket's gonna pull the tray of cookies back from Lucina and say, "You had too many. No more for you." And she's gonna look over at KP and say, "I like your nose ring. So tell me,
Oh,
you burned
thank
your
you.
house down. How'd that happen?"
Well, my shop. I guess it's also my house. My house was above it.
No.
Well, I guess I have like some kind of a dragon ancestry, and I was a regular shopkeep, and now I guess I'm a sorcerer. Like it's in my blood, and I kind of just one day just was like, oh, I wish I had a little bit of warmth. It was a really cold winter, and I was like, I wish I had a little fire going. And next thing I know, I had a fire hitting my hands, and I was like, oh God, and I tossed it, and it just went poof, and my shop's gone. So now I'm an adventurer trying to get my shop back. Hopefully I can raise enough money. Well, material goods come and go. It's more of the reputation, that's hard to come by.
That's okay. So you feel like you have this under control, though?
I mean, mostly, yeah. Oh yeah, sure, totally. Yeah.
I'm laughing because I'm imagining this little kobold on a chair talking, and it's making me.
And he's like a little short, so like you see him like not quite reach the ground, and so like as a nervous or not like nervous thing, but just like a thing to do, like he's swinging his legs as well as he's talking.
Malik takes the like sweetest cup of chai, like takes a sip, grabs a sugar cube, adds it to an already kind of ridiculously sweet cup, and as he stirs, he says, "So, now that we've got some manner of introduction in, there's been an incident that I'm investigating a creature attacked two people in the trade district. We don't know anything about it. They're all right. They managed to pretty badly injure the creature from what we know, but obviously there needs to be an investigation, and my work's normally not... Violent incidents are pretty rare on the Citadel. My boss would like me to have some backup on this one, especially because we know so little about what's going on here. We don't know if we're dealing with a monster. We don't know if we're dealing with some sort of escaped animal of some sort. We don't know if this is an intelligent creature, some sort of person that's just had a really unfortunate sequence of events and is now angry and missing a tail, some sort of elemental, etc. So I brought you here because you have a broad group of skills, and yes, most or all of you are pretty solid in a fight. I'm hoping it doesn't come to that, but I do need your help on the investigation for this one. Just tracking this creature down, figuring out what it is and what it's up to, and resolving the situation with as little chaos and loss of life as possible.
Bustina kind of leans forward and she pushes her hair back, and as she does, you notice that right over her right eye there are 4 scars that look suspiciously claw-like, just going right back into her hairline. So she's probably not unknown to fights with creatures. So she leans in. Do you have any other information about it? And then ruins the cool visual by like shoving a cookie in her mouth.
Malik takes another just long sip. Well, we have its tail, and we have 2 witnesses. Both people attacked by the creature survived. So we do have a pretty solid starting point for the investigation. Just wanted to make sure, like, there's a decent chance that this does end in violence or on other unpleasantness. So I do want to give you all like as much information as we have and an opportunity to back out if you so choose.
We will never back out. That's not what we do. And we are also used to doing jobs for you that involve violence, Malik. I mean, we don't expect you to come here and invite us to Tupperware party. Rexley, what is Tupperware party? Never mind. Get off.
I don't know what Tupperware is. I'm sorry.
A Tupperware? What's a tup?
Belson hosted
I'm
that once. It was
familiar.
this new thing in where you could like, it was not like the glass jars that they use. It was this new thing you could put food in, and it made some interesting noises when you closed it, but they only did it the once.
Oh, it's an instrument.
Yeah, no, it's a container. And as someone who's a merchant, he's like, yeah, you can find them in the stores. You could
How do you
found
keep
them
the
in my
lids with the containers? Wouldn't the lids just get lost and then you don't have any for the containers?
Great question. It actually creates a vacuum seal, and it kind of starts going into like a scientific like.
I'm sure an artificer could design some sort of
Christina
system.
clocks out. She's just done.
So wait, just to get back to the topic at hand. There was an incident of violence, and there are survivors that we can talk to. Yep. Is there anything else that would indicate why this would have happened, or?
No, if we had more information, I'd be trying to pursue this on my own as much as possible. I'm here in large part because we have little enough information that as wide a set of specialties as possible is ideal. The creature disappeared after the attack, after it lost its tail. Tail was removed. It definitely attacked those people, and both of them survived. And that's pretty much where we're at the moment.
We have no idea.
Who are the survivors?
We can I'll introduce you to them once we're done here. Just wanted to make sure. Is everyone on board then?
I mean, you don't see why not.
Freaking BB was actually ready to back out until Rana gave that speech about no, we're not the type to back out, and he's just like, oh, okay, I guess. All right.
All right. Well, I suppose I should give the normal disclaimer. Cricket, I know you've heard it before. Bear with me. But right, we get adventurers here reasonably often, but most incidents don't end with a big knockout fight for the fate of the world. I have had to use this thing, and he pulls out the baton, like twice in my career here. Cricket was there for both of them. We're trying to get this done with as little rampant chaos as possible. Don't cast spells into crowded areas. Don't fling axes with a crowd as a backstop. Try to see if there's an option beyond, a knockout brawl in the middle of the city. We're trying for minimal disruption to the lives of everyone here. Unlike, I'm sure, adventuring careers outside of the city.
Christina has a look on her face that could aptly be described as, why am I here then?
Oh boy.
Cricket's gonna hand Ustina the book that Wisteria recommended she might like.
While this book exchange happens, Malik, you know where the attack took place. You know that the two people who were attacked, they're at the House of Convalescence. They're recovering, and that they're supposed to be, that Ariat sent a shield bearer to basically watch over the scene and get the statements from those two people. So you know that you could bring this group to the scene pretty quickly and hopefully find some information.
All right. So yeah. No, I will lead the way unless anyone else has anything else they'd like to do. All right. So yeah, Malik says, well then, follow me and let's get started. And put his glasses back on, and we'll head over to the crime scene.
As we head downstairs, Wisteria goes up to Felsen and sort of and just sort of ends up pointing at like 3 different teas.
Oh, yes. Would you like me to have them delivered? It sounds like you're heading somewhere. Oh, okay. I'll take care of that.
Do you have like to-go containers, like something that we can just, it's spill-proof and we can just sip out of, maybe?
Absolutely. And they very quickly grab what is kind of a weird cardboard plant hybrid that she can pour some of these into. Oddly enough, any of the leftovers of the food seem to already be in to-go boxes and ready for you to go. And at the same time, it's like that they're clearing tables and taking care of stuff. It's almost magical how good they are. But yeah, you have all of the food that you'd like, and you're heading out to where the attack took place?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, you leave the tea shop, and it's not a very long walk to where you need to go. The trade discal is fairly close by, and Malik leads you to a rather large building that actually butts up right next to the Auroral Diamond. There's a little alley, so it's not directly up against the diamond, but leads you there, and you can see that it's a warehouse. The warehouse is actually called Width and Breadth, and it's a shipping company of some sort. Anyone who wants to give me a history check.
Okay.
Our first roll.
First roll.
Gasp. History. How much do I have? I can do history.
19.
Ooh.
That's a natural 1.
Oh,
19.
I got a 17.
16.
Okay, so Malik, Wisteria, BB, and Ustina, I'm gonna tell you what you know in just a second. But fortunately, Cricket, as you know, we only have one house rule on this game, which is when you roll a natural 1, I'm going to ask, why'd you fail to come up with any information about this place?
This, let me turn myself on. This absolutely makes no sense because Cricket is very involved in, the Citadel and the history of the place and everything. But you know what? That to-go box of cookies was calling her name. And as they left, she started just cracking it open and not paying attention to her surroundings.
So as Cricket is gnawing down on some of the to-go boxes, the rest of you recognize Width and Breath it's a shipping company that mostly operates out of Sansatlan, and a couple of you even remember that it's home goods, that they kind of specialize in blankets, pillows, homey type materials, stuff that would be hard to get onto the Citadel, like specifically feathers for down pillows and blankets and things. Nothing really exciting, comfy, but nice. And as you arrive and kind of go along to the side, you see a shield bearer standing next to the building, kind of intentionally blocking the alley that would lead behind this warehouse. You see a tall, muscular, dark-skinned human, bald, with it's kind of a mixture of simple leathers and a short sword on his side. He's got kind of that on-duty alertness, but you can all also see that as you come around the corner, a little bit of a smile, like he's been expecting you and happy to see you, and literally waves you on over and says, yes, hi. You're the ones that Arya said were going to come.
Absolutely. Malik
Okay.
Livon and company.
Of course.
Hello.
Excellent. Hi. I've kept as many people away as possible and left the scene as closely as can be left for you to investigate. So I took some of the statements of the two people who got attacked, and you watch as he then rummages around in a pack and pulls out a little notebook and flips through it and says, they were two people who actually work at the warehouse here. They were the two guards hired to, I'm not exactly sure why they're guarding this warehouse, but everyone's got to guard their stuff. They were just doing rounds, and they said that they were attacked by a creature, and I will give you the description. And what he describes is about a 4-foot tall blue dog-like creature with a giant maw and two big muscular legs and what was a tail. And that's when he says, and I've left the tail over there. Smells. When you're done, let me know. It's horrible. We'll get that taken care of. And they're being taken care of at the House of Convalescence. They're going to be okay. But there's blood kind of everywhere back there. And what they described is not anything that I've ever seen or heard of.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We'll tell you if you have any other questions, but yeah, let's look at this scene. And yeah, again, I hope one of you has more insight into this than I do, because I have no idea what we're looking at with the tail.
So you don't mind if we just walk around and look at things a bit here?
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay.
I'll stay here and make sure that no curious onlookers come on by. There was quite a scuffle from what I was told, so we've had a couple of curious people trying to look in, but I've done my best to keep them out.
Okay. So wait, just bullet points really fast. Bullet points. We have 4-foot tall, blue, dog-like, missing tail.
Giant
Missing a
maw.
tail now.
Correct. Oh.
2 legs.
Apparently the guards at Width and Breath are pretty good with their swords. Yes, they mentioned 2 big, nasty clawed legs and this tail that you're gonna find back there. Smells bad.
Do I sense anything like arcane or magical about this place at all? Like, was there anything in that nature?
Are you just reaching out with your arcane senses, or are you actually using an ability?
Just arcane senses, like just an arcana check, kind of just to see if there was like anything magical that happened here.
So I'll tell you, you're not quite around. Have you gone to the back where the tail and the attack actually took place, or are you still standing kind of at the front of the warehouse? Because right here you don't actually see very much. So
okay, I'll do it when we get closer to it. Then that would be what the first things he would kind of do, or just a plain insight check. Would that be insight? No, that would be more. Would it be insight?
Arcana sounds like what you're. I mean, you could try to insight a tail, and I'm here for it if you want. But we'll see what happens. Okay. Is anyone heading around the back to go check out the tail and the attack, or would you like to stay or go do something else?
I'd like to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The shield bearer moves to the side so that you can head back. It's always an interesting feeling when you're next to the auroral diamond. When you're this close to it, you can feel almost a thrum of energy. It's comforting. It's not necessarily warm. It is, but it's nice, which is a stark difference to when you round the corner and you see this. It's essentially an alleyway behind the warehouse. You can see, obviously, there was a scuffle. There's scuff marks everywhere. You see where there's a couple bits of clothing that seem to have been torn off at some point. There's a little bit of blood. Oh, there's a bitter smell in the air, and it's coming from this tail. This obviously severed from a creature, several foot long tail. BB, it almost kind of looks like a draconic tail. It's got the scales. You don't think it's actually draconic, but it definitely got that shape, that shimmer, and it is a molted blue black. And you can give me that Arcana check now as the rest of you tell me what you'd like to do.
Oh, in the meantime, like you see BB like holding his own tail and looking at the other tail and kind of like comparing notes, kind of quizzically looking and like shaking his head first and then going, maybe. And I get a 19 for my Arcana check, by the way.
Excellent. It's hard being this close to the diamond because, it's powerful. And so trying to block that out, that familiar feel, to gaze over this area, it takes a moment. The tail itself, it's not magical. It's not radiating any palpable arcane. That scent, it reminds you of something, but you're not quite sure. It's not a familiar scent. It's not something you've smelled before. You think someone described this to you once.
Oh.
But that's all you get. You can't quite remember anything else.
You see him like start doing this with his goatee. It's trying to stroke it as he's thinking it. He's like, what? Oh, and then, but I mean, that's all he can really do. He's like, well, it's nothing really magical, at least not that I can tell. But I don't know. The scent seems familiar. I don't. Anybody else know that smell? Maybe.
Is there anything recognizable about it?
What would you like to do to try to recognize it? Because there's a couple different ways you can go about this. I mean, it's a smell. Are you? Tell me what you'd like to do. What skills would you like to draw upon as you smell this bitter scent? Or anybody, if there is something anybody would like to do.
Oh, I think the guard shift, whatever, he just left us to our own devices, right?
The shield bearer has left you, to examine the area as you see fit. They've been told that someone's going to be coming on back, and he's making sure that you're not disturbed by the public.
Okay, because Cricket wants to ask him one question. Is there a way to snag him before he runs out the door 90 miles an hour?
Oh, he's staying around the corner, so you can definitely go on back. You can head on back. He's only a couple of feet away. Wisteria, did you have a skill you want to use? Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm jumping around here.
I mean, I can sort of see if there's something that is familiar about it to me through what between the combination of what I'm seeing and what I am smelling. Smell is obviously the strongest memory linked sense. So I'm just curious. I have a pretty good sense of smell because I'm around so many flowers and plants and teas all day. So
Yeah. All right, go ahead and give me a perception check or a nature check. One of the two.
It's a dirty 20.
And which did you give me?
Perception.
Perception. It's, you also get that bitterness, and it's a very specific kind of bitterness that you don't often encounter because you work with a lot of plants, you work with a lot of natural elements, and so you don't work with metal very much. And so that extra, it's almost like you've got silver on the tip of your tongue. It's a very harsh feeling. And yeah, that smell is not something you've ever smelled here on the Citadel. But something about it is metallic. It's not from this place. You know, even all the plants and animals, you've been inside the Preserve of the Ancients so many times. You are familiar with every nook and cranny. If there is a natural creature on this Citadel, you know it. This is not from here.
Okay, well, this is something new.
And Cricket, what did you want to ask the shield bearer?
Okay. You guys froze for a second, but you're back.
We're back.
Okay,
What do you want to ask the shield bearer?
Yeah, you're back. Okay. Cricket's going to find her way to the shield bearer and sort of sidle up next to him and say, myself and my cohorts are going to want to have to speak to the victims after this, if possible, of course. But can you tell me how they are doing? I am Grave Domain Cleric. I do walk the line and the balance between life and death.
That explains the shovel.
They are, yes. Oh, my shovel as she's dragging it to go see him. I guess she didn't sneak up on him. Never mind.
Yeah, he just nods down at your giant shovel that you've been taking with you.
Just drags it everywhere. They're just like, I want to make sure that it isn't a situation of where we will lose them before we get information we need.
As far as I know, they're being very well taken care of at the by the clerics that are there. They took some pretty grievous wounds. Whatever this creature was, it put up a fight. As far as they're concerned, it was a draw. But they're going to be okay. They need a little bit of rest. That's why I was able to get the basics from what they had seen and heard. But yeah, definitely when they have recovered a little bit, I'm sure they'll want to talk to you. But I'm sure they would appreciate knowing that you were there to help. But they should be okay. I trust the people at the House of Convalescence. I've had to go there a couple times myself. Those people are pretty good at what they do.
They're very good at what they do. Thank you for letting me know. And she's going to open his hand, place a cookie in it, and close his fingers around it, and just nod. And then walk away to look for Ustina.
As you walk away, you hear him say, "Ooh, Gastinos," and he starts to chew down. Ustina, what have you been up to during this?
So she has been strolling in the area, looking about, avoiding the pools of blood, but she would like to see if there's any differences in the blood that would let her know which came from the victims and which came from the monster.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Perception. Don't suck. 16.
Excellent. You kneel down next to what looks like it was probably the center of this battle. You are familiar with battle. As much as there isn't much violence on the Citadel, a lot of your jobs have taken you off the Citadel where there has been fighting that you've experienced. And you know how to look over a skirmish and kind of read the area. And you do see, especially since it's very clear some of the blood coming out of the part of the tail that got cut off, you can kind of compare that to some of the other bits. And yeah, the blood that's coming out of the tail is definitely a darker hue than the humanoid blood that was spilled here. And you kind of look around from the tail's perspective, and you see there's a little bit of it on the very top of the wall. You think you see a little bit around the corner. You're not exactly sure if what could jump up there and what could run over there, but it definitely went in one of those two directions.
Ustina will kind of stick her hand out. Small dragon person.
Me?
Can you give me that tail? You're holding it. I would like to hold it.
Okay. Here you go. And you gotta just like
don't step in all the blood.
Oh, okay. Oh God. Oh, this is everywhere. And he kind of just tries to like lift it up. I'm assuming, how big is this tail, by the way? I forget.
It is several feet long.
Yeah.
How tall is BB again?
He's like 3'4".
Give me a strength check.
My worst. It's literally. Where's my strength? That's stealth. I'll just go to click this then. How do I roll just for a straight strength check?
Just a straight strength check.
How
much can you deadlift off the ground?
Not well. He's not really far from the ground, so not much. How do I roll in D&D Beyond just for the plane?
You should be able to just roll on the strength modifier.
Yeah.
That's right.
On the thing.
Click it. There we go.
Yep.
That is an 8.
You had been
surprisingly not bad considering I have a -1 in my strength. So
there you go. You had been crouched over as you've been really examining the scent of this thing and looking over it, and probably sharing some information with Wisteria. And when Ustina says, hand it to you, you don't really think too much about it. You go to pick it up, and it's not that it's heavy, because it actually isn't. It's relatively light, but it is bigger than you. And so as you stand up, it's still dragging on the ground next to you. And it's one of those
really unwieldy. It feels like just like slipping out of his hands. Like, my God.
You're carrying a giant carpet. And so it's hard for you can pick it up. You just can't really move anywhere with it.
Okay. You may need to come over here. It's I can only do so much.
Kind of just looks over and takes like 2 steps and picks up the tail and picks it up to look at it. She does not care that BB has not let go of it.
Yeah, he's like, I don't say, he's like, I'm a class. And then gets like it falls down. Whew.
Don't fall in the blood.
Oh God.
So Ustina would like to actually look at the part of the tail that was cut off for something that's going to sound really morbid, but you're the one that opened the door here. How does the circulatory system that's still left in this tail look? Are we talking arteries or veins?
All right.
It's a really good instinct. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I like it. I don't want to go too CSI on this. I want to keep this,
Well,
relatively PG-13, but I really like where you're going with this.
You describe blood trails. It's your fault.
I know. I put you in this situation, and now I have to think about the circulatory system of a creature that I put in your game. Go ahead and give me either a nature check or a perception check.
Let's see here. how much do I hate I hate nature a lot. Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I don't know why, but it didn't flash up my answer to me. Did it?
Oh no, I forgot I
Oh,
was
never
on
mind.
mute.
Yes, that's a
Yeah.
21.
Oh,
Nice.
Nice.
perception or nature?
That was perception because I hate nature, apparently.
It's not that you hate nature. It's just,
I'm not very good at it.
you're
That's
not
a
very
rock.
good at it.
That's a leaf.
Nature has
There you go.
stronger opinions on you than you have on
Probably.
nature.
Exactly. You're holding this tail. You've taken a look at the blood that's everywhere. You've kind of got both its visual and its scent. And it's less about the circulatory system of this creature. It's less that you're suddenly seeing the inside of it, and more that you think this would have been a fairly significant injury for what you think might be the size of this creature. And as much as you are admonishing BB to not step in the blood or not, scuff anything, all of your new companions are doing a very excellent job of staying out of it. But now that you've gotten a closer look at the end and you're looking up at the trail up top and you're looking over at the trail on the side, those were definitely made afterwards. You can tell from the viscosity, you can tell from the scent. After this tail was cut off, that's when that appeared up top, and that's when that appeared over on the side.
Ooh, that is interesting.
Is there a trail? If I'm standing where the tail got cut off,
Yes.
and I'm seeing the cast off from where the tail, see, I'm thinking about nature, tail got cut off. Is there a directional sense of where it went after said tail went goodbye?
In a weird way, it's like it went in both directions. The mark that's up top that looks like it might be something had grabbed up at the top of this warehouse, and the mark that's over on the corner, both of those are multiple feet away. You don't know any creature that could jump that far, especially after taking this kind of injury, but yet you're pretty positive it's like it went in two directions at the same time. It's weird, but it's like it went that way and that way.
Cricket.
And at this point, Cricket is caught up with Ustina, and she sees Ustina wearing the tail. What are you doing with it right now?
I was just looking at it, and then I let go of it, so I don't. It's probably on the ground again.
It lands on the ground with a little.
Okay, whatever. Cricket's like standing almost too close to Ustina as usual, like standing, and she's like, "What are you thinking? What is this? Have you seen anything like this before?"
I'm thinking you're too close to me.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not sure. And no, I haven't.
What?
Well, you at never mind. First, and she points up.
Okay.
They said it had strong legs, and that looks like a jump.
It looks like a jump. Okay.
There, and she points over to the corner, also looks like it ran.
So you think it's a creature with like two heads, or?
No, I'm not sure what kind of creature it is. I'm assuming I should probably ask somebody who's more familiar with magical.
Yes, that's actually a very good question. Who in this group is best or well versed on creatures that are magical? Of the 5, 4, 5, 7, 12 of us.
So Ustina, with the kind of like definitely not rough, not gentle, but not rough, will reach down to BB's collar. Hello. And kind of lift him up to eye level and point out the same things so that he has a good eye view of it. And then gently put him back down.
Thank you.
Do you know of anything that can go in two places at once?
Well, two of things can go two places at once. One
that
of them
very insightful.
You're welcome. And he actually genuinely thinks you're complimenting him.
You have
so
no
what would-
idea whether or not she is.
No, yeah, no. It's the thought that counts. In terms of would he know, would this be something more of an animal handling check or like an arcana check or a nature check? What would be?
I'm going to give this to you because you are a creature of magic and you've been kind of studying what all these new powers that you have. So you at least at the outset know of various kinds of teleportation magic, some of which are not just that humanoids can do, that other creatures can do. You've heard of things like Misty Step and Dimension Door and all of these magical things that there are creatures that have either the same abilities or comparable abilities. It's still weird that it would go that way, go up and left at the same time, but you do know there's ways for something to teleport around.
I mean, there are creatures that can kind of do things like that. I don't know about splitting, but I feel like they could just like, I don't know, Misty Step or something like Dimension Door, none of which I can do. Those are like really powerful like magic users. But if that's the case, oh God, that creature might be something that's a little beyond our capabilities
No,
if
it's
it can
not.
do things like that.
Why would you say that?
Oh,
Well,
Wisteria,
that's why I've got all of
Wisteria
you in
says,
here.
really? And then Misty steps to the other side of the room and goes,
Oh.
powerful!
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
So while this was all going on, Malik's been investigating, trying to figure out, can he figure out how the creature got here? Like, is there a clear sign of, did it, break through something, a fence or something to get in? Or what he's particularly suspicious of is, did it come out of the warehouse? Which would be very worrying if so, and it's something that absolutely needs to be. Could I make like an investigation check to try and figure that out?
Absolutely. Wisteria, were you going to help with that? I saw you.
I wanted to look around and see the crates and things that are nearby. Are there crates and things from the shipping company?
There are not. But why don't the both of you either give me an investigation or a perception? Your choice. We'll say the two of you are kind of teaming up on this.
Oh, that's pretty nice. 23 total.
For investigation or perception?
Investigation.
Awesome.
My perception is an 8, but my passive is a 13. If it
Okay.
matters.
Wisteria, do you think that when you Misty stepped, you would have gone up to the roof instead of off to the side?
Sure, why not?
Okay. DM is trying to help. Malik goes off to the side to kind of follow one trail. You go and show off that you are super powerful. And from the roof, you see that there's actually a fairly large hatch on the top of the roof. You know that this is probably fairly common. Shipping containers often are pulled up and down through the warehouses as well as through the front doors, having multiple ways of accessing. So it's a fairly large, it's a fairly large hatch. It does look locked. You're not sure if it's locked, but it does look closed. And even with that check, you do notice that there's a little bit of blood next to it. Malik, as you come along the side, and you're specifically looking for where could this creature have come from and where could it have gone, it's mystifying where this thing came from. It's like it appeared out of nowhere. You see no obvious trail in. There's nothing around that's broken. There's no indication where it came from. This warehouse, it's a warehouse and a bunch of other warehouses and the diamond, and that's it. But you can kind of follow afterwards where it has gone, you think. You find little bits of blood here and there. Once again, it's odd. It's like there's a little bit here, and then 15 feet away, you find a little bit more. And then 25 feet away, you find a little bit more. And you think that this creature should be bleeding a lot more than this, but that's where you find it. And you find it almost goes to the front of the building. And then you think to look up because you're looking down and you're following this trail, and you think to look up and you see another one of those marks up there.
Hey, friends, I think I found something.
Malik like takes a step back, realizes that you're on the roof, starts trying to figure out what roof access is like over here.
Oh, you can see on both sides there are both ladders and there are the platforms that raise on up. So roof access is actually pretty easy if you are, unless you're a creature that apparently can just get up there.
Well, that does actually give me idea for how it got in. Namely, if it can just hop from roof to roof with whatever teleport ability it has, ambushing 2 guards in an alley would be pretty easy. Let's see. So yeah, I'll head up on the roof and join Wisteria up there.
Okay.
All right, is anyone else going up to the roof, or are some people staying back by the diamond?
I think Cricket's she heard Wisteria and she's gonna follow up because she's investigating with them. So why not?
Yeah, I think he would kind of join in. BB would join as well, just because he doesn't want to be down here by himself.
Ustina might eat him. Just kidding. Let's go.
I was gonna say you're not by yourself. I'm right here.
Ustina, would you like to join everybody up top, or are you still looking down by the tail?
Ustina is going to continue investigating down here because I don't think that maybe she's found everything she was possibly looking for. And she's also going to kind of take a quick glance at, the obviously guards' blood just to see approximately how badly they might have been hurt. But she's going to stay down here and keep investigating. She figures that Cricket will yell very loudly if she's needed.
Awesome. Before we head up to the top with everybody, I will say, Ustina, from those rolls earlier, yeah, it looks like the guards were hurt pretty badly. Looks like whatever this creature was, even though it was 1 against 2, and from what the shield bearer said, these guards had some training. These were not pushovers. So this must have been a pretty nasty fight. You can see a lot of rips and tears in the ground, and clothing left here and there, bits and pieces where obviously someone was bit or grabbed or scratched or something. And as you continue to look down at the bottom, the rest of you head up to the top and kind of converge around. There's the 2 hatches. There's the massive one that's obviously for raising and lowering shipping goods. And then there is a smaller one that seems to be for access into the warehouse from this side. And Malik, with that investigation, as you follow the trail on up and as Wisteria points everything out, yeah, you think this is where the creature went, and you look across at some of the other buildings that are nearby, and you don't see anything anywhere else. And you go to try the hatch on the roof of the building, and it is locked, which would make sense.
Cricket's going to be standing too close to Malik, and she's going to say, there are 3 reasons a monster will attack. 1, you're about to do something to its young. 2, you go near its food. Or 3, you get in the way of something it wants. So, which one are we defending against? Do you think there's a baby monster down there? I don't think so.
I think the game is afoot. We have a creature clearly capable of teleporting, potentially capable of getting inside. We may need to speak with the proprietor. There is a very real possibility it found its way inside the building again.
Oh.
What's everyone's passive perceptions? Real quick.
Not
Passive,
incredible.
14 is my passive perception.
17. I forgot I have observant. 17 passive perception, 19 passive investigation.
Nice.
Oh.
Ustina and Cricket?
I'm trying to get to past perception 13.
I didn't know I was included because I'm downstairs. 12.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
12 passive perception.
Malik, the game is afoot. This is interesting. This creature might be inside. And then you hear it. It's almost like one of those noises that it's so high that it almost doesn't register as a sound. It kind of leaves a chill up your spine and it hits in the back of your head. And it's piercing without being loud. It's this weird, it's almost like a high-pitched whine. And it seems to be coming from back where Ustina is. Ustina, you're looking over this tail and you're kind of checking out the area, and you've come over to look at what's left of this creature that's been left behind, and you smell that acrid smell in the air. And then you hear the growl, and it's almost as though it appears next to you. This creature is massive for what it is. It was just described as dog-sized, but this is bigger. It's got this horrific three-pronged mouth filled with teeth and eyes on all three sides. It is a bipedal blue-scaled monstrosity with a tail cut off. And I'm gonna need everybody to roll initiative real quick.
Oh, that was
No.
okay.
Because you
There
know
we
what,
go.
Ustina, you got left alone.
Oh no, I split the party right in the beginning.
Fortunately, y'all are not too far away from each
Oh,
other.
no.
Okay. Wisteria
16.
and BB
I believe an 8. Yep, an 8.
and Malik.
Natural 1 for a total of 3.
All right, you know the rules, Malik.
Um,
Even though you hear this whine, why do you fail to act so quickly?
I think it is a genuine shock to him. He's used to most of these things ending with like, oh yeah, it was someone's escaped pet or something. So there's this genuine moment where he's like, okay, that has to be a dog or something else. There's no way it's actually just immediately going for another attack while badly wounded, right? Like, we need to go and get permission to enter the warehouse, and then maybe it's made a nest in there or something. Like, by the time he's registered, wait, shit, there's something bad going on, everyone else is already acting.
I love it.
What are your rules on free action for yelling?
It's a free action to yell. It's a free action to cry. It's a free action to yell.
Yeah, so I mean, Ustina would kind of give it the, like this for a second, and then just go, Cricket!
And Cricket, what was your initiative? 10. Okay, I think I got everybody.
Mine was a 6, so
It
yeah.
was a 6? Okay. Wisteria, you're up first. You hear the cry. You hear the cry from your new companion. What would you like to do?
Oh no. And I'm going to look over, and do I see what's happening?
Oh yeah.
Okay. How far away am I?
You're almost directly above where
Okay.
they are because you just came from kind of the middle of the roof. But you're 60 feet up because it's a warehouse. So you had to climb up pretty high. You had to take the elevator up pretty high.
Okay. I take out why is this the one spell that I didn't write down my thing for? Oh my gosh. Let me see if I can quickly find it. But I take something out of my pocket. And I sort of grind it up in my hands, and then I touch the ground, and you see vines begin to crawl down toward where they are, and I will cast Entangle,
Awesome.
trying to hold it in place.
Is that a save or an attack?
It is a save. It is a strength save.
All right. I'm going to roll this. Cricket, you're going to be up next. Got a 21.
Okay, that will save. The area is difficult terrain, though, for what that's worth.
It raises one of its giant legs, which now you can see have wicked claws on the end of them and are muscular, and it just seems to pull out of your vines. Anything else?
That I will take behind from the flowers I have in my hat. I'm going to take out a dandelion, and I'm going to blow the dandelion, and it's going to go down toward you, Justina, and you will have a bardic inspiration.
Oh. All right, Cricket, it's your
You
turn.
see her
BB,
kind
you're
of
on
rub
deck.
her nose, but she feels much better.
Yeah.
That was awesome. All right,
All right.
Cricket, is your turn. BB, you're on deck.
Okay, so we hear this. We know that Ustina is downstairs, and we hear the noise from downstairs.
Absolutely.
Can we get to where we can see within using all of our movements? Can I get there?
You can get to the edge of the roof so that you can see what's going on. At that point, it's up to you how you want to get to the street, to the alleyway, because you're 60 feet up, but you can definitely get to the edge with your movement.
And I can get there where I can, I guess, see Ustina is my point, sort of. And I can
Absolutely.
see the thing.
Yeah, because you get to the edge and you look down and they're
Like
right
that.
there. Yeah.
Okay, so that's exactly what she does. Cricket sort of hears the noise, and she doesn't turn. She just quickly runs over, shovels dragging to the edge, and looks over, and she sees, her beloved friend Ustina and this monster. And right away, she's just going to start doing this with her hands. Her hands are going to be spinning, and she's going to throw something. And in front of Ustina is going to be this just like glowing shield, but it's see-through. She's just casting Shield of Faith, which gives you +2 bonus to your AC. Just a bonus. But at the same time that she does that in front of Ustina, she's going to do like this with her fingertips, just sort of wiggle them and then clap. And when she does that, she's casting Bane on the creature so that it has to make a charisma saving throw. And if it fails, then any attack roll or saving throw, it has to subtract a d4.
All right. It rolled an 11. It's not very charismatic.
It's charismatic 13. Charisma
Awesome.
13.
So it fails. So it is baned.
A d4 every time.
All right.
That's it.
Cool. BB, you're up next, and then it's gonna be my creature's turn.
Oh, wow. You rolled pretty low then, considering.
It was
I
a
mean-
generally low roll initiative.
Yeah.
There's only so much that it can do at one time, and so sometimes it's not the fastest thing.
Fantastic. With that being actually, I forget has it been speaking or doing that whatever it's been doing up till now that Malik has been hearing?
There's no speaking.
Mm.
Now that it's been pointed out, and I'll say, Cricket and Wisteria and Ustina, you now all hear this high-pitched whine, this almost incomprehensible noise. BB, if you run to the edge and look at what's going on, you will also now perceive this horrific noise. It just tickles at the back of your brain.
Because I was wondering, I mean, would this be something that comprehend languages be able to help with?
Give me an Arcana check.
Oh, okay. 14?
You don't think this is a language. It's too steady to be a language.
Okay.
This sounds more like the noise a monster, a creature, an animal would make.
Gotcha. I mean, does it sound like it's something like in pain, and it's just something that it's a creature that's not necessarily intending harm, but is more like, I'm trapped in here, I'm being pushed, I'm in pain kind of a situation? Or this is clearly an aggressive thing that intends to harm because that's what it likes doing? If you get my drift.
I do. I'm gonna let you roll an insight check, but because you're doing more than one check in a round,
Okay.
I'm gonna make it a bonus action. Are you still
Okay.
You still want to do it?
Yes.
Okay. Give me an
All right.
insight check.
Okay, insight. Still, that's a 13.
You are consistent. This noise is so odd, strange, because it's almost super. It's almost, you can't hear it.
Mm-hmm.
this doesn't make any sense. It's not like any other creature that you've heard. You don't think it's a whine of pain. And looking at this creature, once again, it's nothing like you've ever seen. It's got sinewy taut muscles and these fearsome claws and teeth, and it is obviously aggressive at Justina. And looking at it, yeah, I'll give it to you. You think it might be hungry.
Oh. And it's looking at us like we're the meal.
It's looking at Justina like you were here alone, and so a snack time.
Okay. And is that all? I know I did the bonus. Would that be considered all my moves at this point?
So that's your move and your bonus. You still have your action.
Oh, I still have my action. Then if that's the case, I will shoot. I'm hoping this is. I'm trying to figure out. Does this makes a ranged spell attack against the target on a hit? Okay, cool. It's not a area effect attack. Okay, I will shoot. In that moment, a firebolt at this thing.
Excellent.
And you just see from up top. I'm assuming it's within 120 feet of range.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's 60 feet away.
Perfect. So from there, you see him go, ah! And just like out of just like instinct, just shoots out this firebolt from his hand, and that's a 10 to hit.
It misses, but just barely,
pain, right?
Well, this is an attack on it, not a save.
I'm sorry. It's sorry.
It's one of those things where you are examining this creature in so many different ways that it's almost as though mentally you had reconstructed it with a tail, and so your firebolt hits where its tail would have been.
Oh, crap.
Anything else?
I think that's all I can do. That's like my action, my bonus action, and everything. So yeah, he kind of just goes, anybody have a big steak? I think it's hungry.
And now it is this creature's turn. Justina, you're gonna get to go after it as it and it leaps at you with its maw filled with teeth, and it rolls a 6 after the bane. And it snaps at you, but like a foot and a half away from where you are. Like it doesn't quite jump far enough. You think actually that it's off kilter because it doesn't have a tail anymore, and so when it leaped at you, it misjudged. Because of that, it's gonna move. Yeah, it's gonna move to the side of you, and then you watch as it will move away from you because it's gonna move out of your range. So if you do want to take an attack of opportunity, you can. Go ahead and describe your attack of opportunity.
Attack of opportunity, since it's opportunity and I haven't had my turn yet, is just going to be with my hand axe. Because I can grab that fairly quickly.
Sure.
That's only a 9 to hit though, so nope.
Because this creature moves awkwardly, you misjudge its movement. You're expecting it to move a little bit more steadily, and both of you get flummoxed. So it manages to duck out of your hand axe. It puts a foot on the diamond, and now you can see that there's like suction cups on the bottom of its feet. And it puts one foot there, and then it shifts. You almost see it disappear in front of you, like heat vapors when it moves in the air, and and then about 20 more feet up, it appears on the diamond, moving its other foot, like it had just teleported up there or moved through space, and is now clinging to the side of this diamond. And I need everybody to give me a perception check.
Okay.
Okay.
It's going to take a second. Get all the way over there.
I don't know these rolls, man. I swear. I got
17.
an 8.
18.
19.
Gonna be a 13.
Okay. Who got the 8?
This guy.
Phoebe,
Your passive is higher than that, though, right?
My passive is at 14.
Because can we use passives, or if not, I'm a 9 as well.
we're in combat, so I'm gonna say no to the
Okay.
passive.
So then I'm a 9. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, this is an active thing. You're checking everything out. Wisteria and BB, you just watch as it up there. The other 3 of you see it happen. And you notice something odd, strange, horrific. It's attached itself to the diamond. And where it is attached, the pale blue of the diamond shifts, darkens. And for a moment, you think it's like a shadow, but it's the diamond that's giving off the light. So there shouldn't be a shadow from this creature. It is as if wherever this creature is touching the diamond, that part of it darkens and the whine gets louder. And Ustina, it is your turn. Yes, my creature did run away from you because you're super fearsome. I'm sorry, but you are there. What would you like to do?
I guess I'm gonna climb up to the roof.
Okay.
So that'll be my turn, is climbing up to the roof and getting myself as close to the creature as I can.
Okay. If you climb up to the roof, that's 60 feet, and you will it only went up like 30 feet. So you will now be above it because the diamond and the warehouse are not.
Okay, wait. So I see how, okay.
Yeah. You're kind of in an alley between the diamond and the warehouse, and it's just up the diamond.
This is going to be a very strange question. If
I love it.
I were to climb up there, how wide is this alley?
The alley itself is about 25 feet. It's not that big. Are you thinking about climbing up the warehouse or the diamond?
I think climbing the diamond would be kind of silly.
You think climbing the diamond could be very difficult. This thing needed suction cups on its feet.
Yeah, so I will use my movement to get up the warehouse wall till I'm about even with it.
Okay.
And is the warehouse wall like have enough places that I could like have a handhold there at least?
You think
Or
so?
no?
We're going to find out in a moment, but I want to hear the
Great.
rest of your plan, and then
Thanks.
I will ask for some stuff.
And because you've taken away my planned option,
That's what I do.
I know. Instead, Ustina's fairly, not too far away from this now. And so she just looks at it and says, "Hello again." And then holds her hand out and produces flame.
Okay. Here's what I want. I want either an acrobatics or athletics check from you to see how you parkour or climb up this building. Parkour.
That's an athletics of 22.
Nice.
Nice.
It's less hardcore parkour and more dish, dish, dish. You just find all of the places on the stone of this building that have any kind of handhold, and despite the fact that it is not built for rock climbing, you climb it. You're upset that this thing got out of your reach before you could do something awesome. Produce flame is an attack, or is that a save?
It is. Hold on, I'll tell you. I've never done this before.
That's the fun of new characters.
It is to hit 15.
15 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
So she pulls the flame up in her hand and then just goes and blows it across at the creature.
Awesome.
And that was max damage, 8.
Nice. The flames fly out, covering this creature, burning away much of it, and it takes this damage, and you hear it. Anything else?
No, I'm just gonna stare at it.
All right.
Nice.
Malik, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
So Malik finally kind of runs over to the edge of the roof, sees the thing crawling along the crystal, looks at everyone else and goes, "So I think we can safely say hungry, hostile monster on this one."
Yeah.
Legally and architecturally, how bad is it if a spell misses and hits the crystal? Just to do a risk assessment here on making an attack.
All of you know, there's no risk assessment necessary. It's impossible to damage this diamond. It
Excellent.
is absolutely, it's been impervious to all damage for the 250 years that people have lived here. No one knows how anyone carved anything out of this diamond. You know that it's happened before. The people who originally built this place somehow did it, but nothing any of you know could even scratch this, which is why the fact that the color changes next to this creature is so disturbing. It's the first time you've ever heard of something like that.
Well, that's the safest backstop in the city. Open fire. And I draw my baton and cast Eldritch Blast on the creature.
Nice. Give me your attack.
So 11 plus 5, 16.
That hits. What's your damage?
All right. D10 plus 3 is going to be 11 damage.
Woof. Describe in detail how you kill this thing.
So Malik pulls his baton out. It spins into his hand. He kind of hums a note, and there's a bit of angelic, like, it's not a choir exactly, but kind of nasheed, if anyone's familiar with it, of like this lyrical chanting behind him, a couple of words, and he flicks it forward, and a beam of force lances out, seemingly out of just the air over his shoulder, and impales the creature through the chest before disappearing.
Awesome. As it is impaled, it loses whatever grip it had on the diamond. Justina, since you're the closest to it, you watch as the light in all three of its tiny little eyes that are in between all three of its jaws goes dim, and it lands on the ground, unmoving. The spot on the diamond where it had been perched, where some of you saw the color change, there is a brief moment in where it's still darker there, and then it's gone. It's back to its lovely pale blue. And we're out of initiative. What would you like to do?
May I go and I pull a save my notes. I pull a plant out of my pouch, and I would like to spare the dying on it and take it to the preserve of the ancestors, because this is a creature. That's where you take rare injured creatures to recuperate. We have some pretty strong feelings about killing things in the Citadel. Particularly creatures that we're unfamiliar with, and also people. But in this case, this is a creature we don't know, and maybe the people at the preserve would have some information for us. But also, if it was just hungry, that shouldn't be something that dooms it to death.
But wait, has this creature passed on already?
Well, not if I do what I'm doing right now.
It is not our job to keep something from crossing over to its natural end. What's all that we can do
But
now?
it's not, it doesn't seem right that if it was hungry, like, it's not right to kill something because it got hungry. I mean, we were eating cookies before, and that shouldn't be a death sentence.
But however, we cannot put toothpaste back in the toothpaste tube. That's not me.
All of you wonder what toothpaste is. Yeah, you all have this moment like, toothpaste.
Cricket, and the diamond tends to heal people really well here, so it seems like it would be a good thing to...
Cricket?
It's certainly worth the attempt.
Cricket, go ahead and give me a wisdom check.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
While Cricket's wisdom checking, Justina, who would have probably heard Wisteria having this argument, shouts up from halfway up the wall, "All right, if you want to save it next time, you get to look at all three mouths at once." So 15. Many teeth.
15.
You think over what Wisteria is saying, and yeah, absolutely. The natural order of things is important, but looking down at this creature, it has not yet died. So what she wants to, it's for mechanical purposes, it's in death saving throws. I know those of you are at home who are going, but monsters, they don't get death saving throws. Well, guess what? I like this idea too much. So it's in death saving throws. So yes, if Wisteria does what they want to do, it would not be against the natural order of things.
Okay. Cricket's going to see the wetness of Wisteria's eyes, and she feels the feeling as she tells her how she feels about sparing this creature from dying. And she's touched and she understands. And she says, very well. And she puts her shovel down. I guess I won't use it yet.
So Wisteria takes the flowers that they take out of their pouch are these purple flowers with yellow centers. They're lucernes. They're the blue-eyed grass, and essentially puts one right on top of the creature's head, and it sort of dissolves into shimmers as it sort of infuses the creature. It stabilizes. It doesn't wake them up. It just stabilizes the creature.
Exactly. And you all watch as the ragged breathing of whatever this thing is evens out and turns into sleep.
Ooh.
So we tie it up.
That's probably a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
That
take
is
it straight
definitely for
over,
the best.
straight over to the preserve.
Estina, could we get your help with that one? I am not sure I can carry this.
The look that Estina is directing in the general direction of everybody is very cranky.
Oh, she's hungry.
She's definitely, she is hangry. She is hangry. She'll drop down onto the ground and, throw it over her shoulder. And as she looks at Wisteria, which way is this?
And I will point, show the way to the preserve.
And as Justina's walking away, if anybody's paying attention, you're definitely hearing some discontented muttering. Just tell me to carry everything. What else am I doing?
Oh, if that can be heard by BB, I don't know if this actually would be mechanically functional, but can I cast Featherfall on other things, or is it just on myself?
Yeah.
I'm already on the ground.
Oh, I was thinking of making the creature lighter for you to carry.
Well, I mean, it's not that heavy, but
okay. Then.
I like that idea though. That's
lighter.
I do like that idea. Keep that one in the back pocket. Do you have pockets? You're a kobold.
I mean, I have several, like pouches. Well, more pouches.
It's the rules. You have to tell everybody if your outfit has pockets.
Oh yeah. Well, Sherwanis typically have 2 pockets, and then I have a bunch of pouches. Okay. Oh yeah, we got. But yeah,
if you want to do that, Ustina's not going to complain if you make it lighter.
I think just the muttering. He thinks that it's just too heavy for you, so he will cast Featherfall to make it a little lighter.
Well, I mean, she's absolutely. I should amend that. She is absolutely going to continue to complain. She's just going to complain with a lighter load.
Got it.
BB, I'm going to say with your passive insight, you pick up that she's just enjoying the complaining. You don't actually.
Okay.
As you all head towards the Preserve of the Ancients, being led by Wisteria, Justina carrying this creature, the rest of you following along. Malik, you take that one last look up at where this creature was hanging off the diamond, still thinking about the darkness under it for that briefest of moments. And you remember when you got this assignment from Ariat, how they had said something about this left a pit in their stomach. And now you have the same pit. And it's with that feeling that we'll pause. And the next time we get together, you're going to be taking an interesting creature into the preserve of the ancients, and we might be talking to some incarnates. Let's see. But
Oh, joy.
before we get there, let's take a moment and let everybody tell everybody where you can be found and who you are and what you do. Same order as last time.
You got it. Hey, everybody, I'm Alicia Marie. You can find me on all socials at Alicia Marie Body. Like I said, I design costumes right now. I'm at SDCC. A couple weeks, Gen Con. Otherwise, you can find me playing Children of Erte on the Demiplane channel on Tuesdays. And starting in August, we'll be playing a traveler RPG on the Glass Cannon Network called Voyagers of the Jump. And of course, here on Fridays with these lovely people for the next few weeks. That's it.
Hello, I'm Bashir. Has the thing switched over? Okay. Hello, I'm Bashir Gauss. I am a professional writer, cultural consultant, and independent game designer. In addition to writing on the Radiant Citadel, I've worked with Critical Role, Darrington Press, Paizo, Kobold Press, Rowan Rook and Deckard, and a host of others. I also make my own games. You can find me on Twitter at Bashir Gauss. You can find me on itch at havocfet.itch.io.
My turn. Got it. I don't do any of those things. My name is Kelly. I am mostly known as the Opera Geek, again, for the reason that I am a professional opera singer who is technically award-winning, so that's cool. And tabletop player. I can't say some of the other stuff I'm working on right now. Other than that, I will be returning in Haunted West in October to, I don't know, maybe blow up a few more racists. And and other than that, you can find me on my Twitch channel at the Opera Geek. We are taking a brief pause from Assassin's Creed Valhalla to play Stray because it's animals and it's cute and it's my channel and I can do what I want. And you can also go to my website, kellybutler.com, if you want to see what opera noises sound like coming out of my mouth.
And don't forget the meow button.
And a meow button.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Important meow button.
We all need meow buttons, I feel, after that. It's great. Well, it's my turn. Hello, everybody. My name is KP. I go by KP Livon Studios. And honestly, if you can either read all that and catch everything, or just, come check me out on Twitter. I practically live on there. It's unhealthy, I know, but it is what it is. But hey, say hi, check me out. I do a lot of my goal always in every work that I do is to introduce a little bit of my culture, my Desi nature into everything. So if you liked what I did with my little Cobalt sorcerer today, that's practically what I end up doing to all my characters. There's a little bit of a thread there. So if you enjoyed that, come check me out. As I mentioned, the current active game I'm in, every other Wednesday, we have our Running Feywild campaign, which is basically it's a guide campaign where we pretend to be characters that got sucked into our own D&D game. And I'm a giant, this time I'm a small red draconic creature. In that one, I'm a 6'8" giant draconic creature. Funny enough, completely opposite. He's blue, he's big, and he punches things really, really well. And he's dank as F because he likes to smoke that 420. So, so come check us out there. Everything else I have is starting back up in September. So I'll talk more by the time that comes around. But yeah, there you go.
I am Jen Crutchman. You can find me on Twitter as @DreamWisp. You can find me streaming on Twitch as DreamWisp Jen. I'm an author, a TV producer, an actor. I do a bunch of things. A writer. I said that already. You can find me Tuesdays on Children of Erte. You can find me Mondays streaming on my own channel. Wednesdays, I am playing a vampire on Vampire the Nightlife for Play Renegade, and some other cool stuff coming up down the line. But on the 28th, come join us at Generation Analog, which is a tabletop conference about academics in tabletop. I am giving a keynote speech at the end about accessibility in tabletop and embodiment in games.
Awesome. And I'm Lauren Urban. I've been your humble DM for this show. You can find me on Twitter as Obalauren. I would like to thank the wonderful producers who kept this show running, because Amazing producers are the best thing in the world. I'd like to thank my players and everybody who was in chat. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for joining us. And wherever you are in the universe, we hope we've brought you a little bit of joy from the Radiant Citadel.